breath, chill, bring them cameras out. Guy got them books ready, mega thinking mega, FOB, yeah, we coming different. Like, comment, subscribe, put the vision on a mission. You should come and listen, type of vibe that you missing. Somebody bound to listen, so I hope you pay attention. I'm the purple do-rag, we just speaking on the realness. We just speaking on the realness. I'm the purple do-rag, we just speaking on the realness. Bring them cameras out. Guy got them books ready. Mega thinking mega. FOB, yeah, we coming different. Like, comment, subscribe, put the vision on a mission. You should come and listen. Type of vibe that you missing. Somebody bound to listen, so I hope you pay attention. I'm the purple do-rag. We just speaking on the realness. We just speaking on the realness. I'm the purple do-rag. We just speaking on the realness.
Yo, 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 yo. And you have now goddamn too late for breakfast. I am motherfucking purple do rag. I got the guy with the books. I got Mega Type of Mega, and we talking about them motherfucking crackers tonight. Lock their ass up, the Klan type. Indict them motherfuckers. What y'all got going on, fellas?
What's going on, brother? I'm really happy for this conversation.
We gonna pop it there.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? I see we got a few people in the room. Appreciate you. Late for breakfast. It's episode 14. We talk about indicting the Klan. All right, I'm the guy with the books. We got Purple Do-Rag over here, and Mega's going to join us soon.
What the deal, family? Shout out to everybody that beat us to the motherfucking live. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, Purple got a little different look going on. I'm just showing y'all my wisdom. But yeah, man, on this Klan thing, you heard about them folks in Tennessee with them 99 plus acres? They got caught up, and then they was at the gay pride joint with the shields, ski masks. They caught them up. Police let them go too, and then the FBI, the letterman went up in there somewhere in Tennessee, and I don't know if anyone got locked up, but you can have a social club long as you ain't black. You know what I'm saying? As long as you ain't black, you can have that type of environment. So I don't know what came of them, but indicting the Klan. Big U, the MS-13 leader that was in Northern Virginia. Like, all these guys are getting indicted. I ain't never, ever seen a Klan member in my life get indicted. But I've seen mad niggas get indicted. Mad niggas go to prison for that.
So peep this, right? You say you ain't never seen no Klan members get indicted, right? Mm-hmm. What's it gonna look like in this system to indict presidents, superintendents of schools, sheriffs, judges, police officers, teachers, welders, right?
Anarchy.
This is what would have to be done, right? This is part of the reason why the individuals in the Klan, this is the reason why they wear the hood, right? They don't just wear that hood because it's part of their uniform. They wear that hood because they're a regular schmegular member of society. They're your local pastor. They're the deacon. They're doctors. You know, these are the guys who, they got the landscaping companies. They're the ones who own the grocery stores.
Welcome. Yeah, they are. Same, just like they ain't gonna indict themselves. So basically, but we gonna still talk about it. These motherfuckers ain't gonna indict themselves. Peace, brother. What's up, Megan? You gonna mute?
What's good, yo? What's good? Let me get my lights on, man.
Mega Bill's in the building.
Shout out, Mega.
I got the do rag on. I'm tripping. This
Yeah, see, we switched roles tonight. He black do rag, and I'm think purple.
only purple do rag get to rock the do rag on the show, man.
Oh, Bev, shout out Bev.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so we talking about indicting the Klan tonight. You know what I'm saying? I just came off of. Did you hear about the Tennessee raid on that compound they had, 100+ acres?
Nah.
See, that's why we got to start. They don't never talk about them. They don't never talk about them when they little nephews and shit get caught up. You know what I'm saying? No, hey. The thing about the Klan, they ain't on social media, bald face, telling they horror stories. Yeah, you remember that time we hanged that nigga back there back there in Charleston? They don't do that. They don't do that. You know, we know that we all have heard our favorite rappers got robbed in LA. The only reason we know this is because of podcasts.
So peep this, right? Because I got to jump in here. You're right. They're not on social media telling us about what happened at their local ritual ceremonies and nothing like that. What they're doing is they're conducting the ceremonies right in the House of Congress, the Senate houses, right? So they don't tell everybody, hey, you know, we did this and we earned all this money from it and we killed all these people. No, what they do is they create laws. They create legalese, right? They create systems and annexes of systems that puts us in position to be subservient in some type of way.
Why you saying that, it makes sense, or why Trump will bring back the death penalty and also try to make it so that any drug dealers get caught with drugs, you're getting the death penalty. There ain't no way around that. It ain't no life. You're just getting that. You know what I'm saying? So that makes sense now. That makes sense now. And also, Bill Gates is trying to get rid of a third of the world.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense. All them people got the same type of influence, same type of background, you know, and everybody getting a little whisper in their ear, and they heard whispers in their ear their whole life. You know what I'm saying? It's like a religion. So now they're in position to do that with what you said about Elon Musk, and it's showing that Elon Musk is angry with black people.
Now, see, I don't think that Elon is a member of the KKK. I just think that people like him, they utilize those in the KKK to get certain things done. Right now, is their power as strong? Is the KKK's power as strong as it was, let's say, in the 1920s and the 1930s, late 1800s, 1950s? I would say absolutely not. Are they still in existence? Are they still in operation? I think yes, right? But where are they? So the answer to that is the infrastructure of America, right? These are a bunch of Caucasian individuals who, you know, they pretty much unionized certain positions within society in certain locales of the United States of America. Now, maybe they're in other countries, but I'm not aware of it. But in America, yeah, these are just descendants of the individuals who did all the nonsense in the early 1900s. They're still here. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So what would it just ain't never going to happen, the indictment, unless we turn the page, you know? And it's there. I'm guaranteed, because how America is, there is a file or fucking whole storage room full of everybody that's either a descendant of the Klan or part of the Klan. Just like they'll have a nigga whole, know who his brother, sister, first cousin, grandma, great granddaddy is. They'll know all that before they lock a nigga up. So I'm pretty sure they got a database where they got all these folks, and they just gonna take the right motherfucker to get in there and be like, you know what, we indict the Klan. We gonna knock this Klan shit down from the top. You know what? We gonna go ahead and shut down Boy Scouts of America and Girl Scouts because that shit started from the Klan.
But see, they have to really do something in particular, because even if we look at how the 60s got indicted, or Big U, and some of the shit, they didn't indict all the Rolling 60 throughout America. They indicted Big U for the shit he had going on and the people that was close to him. So even if the Klan was to get indicted, a particular faction of them would have to do something that would gain that level of attention. And even if so, it wouldn't be the whole Klan.
They got the what is the Chinese Crips or the Filipino Crips? They got that dude in there too. If you look at the indictment, he up there.
Yeah, but I'm saying he was with Big U though.
So like with what Mega is saying, right and exact, and I'm glad you said that, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Is somebody would have to do something, and then they get in trouble for it, right? And then you got caught in your uniform, or you got caught and then your uniform was discovered. So now we know you part of the KKK. And then in that space, there would more than likely have to be some type of a RICO,
right?
For this to work. But it would still have to be the police, FBI, CIA, whoever, that would have to go after a high value target, and they would have to get some strong evidence. More than likely also connect the accountant, because when you got organizations like the KKK or any other big name organizations, there's money moving through them, so they would have to follow the money. I mean, this would be a super long process. Could there be indictments? Absolutely. Right. Will there be indictments? Not until we have a change in government, because asking if the KKK is going to get indicted in, like, let's say the next 18 months to 2 or 3 years is asking if Michael Jordan would indict himself for things that he's done wrong. Like the judges. I'm not saying all the judges. I'm not saying that all of the politicians, but I am saying that there's a certain percentage that, in my personal opinion, will have to have representation in those governmental spaces.
So basically, the Klan is done with LLC on motherfuckers with legal money long time ago. Then they passed the law. Back to what you said. Then they went in the state house and passed the law. Say, you know what? Before these niggas LLC up, we gonna goddamn create a law. So even if they do LLC up, we still got their ass.
And then kept creating more laws over and over again. Sure that they strengthened the first one. And anybody who was outside the bounds of that, listen, you got to go. Like I was on the Black and White podcast talking to Tim Pop, and one of the females that he knows asked about the challenges, of melanated America back in the day, right? And I told her the story of Emmett Till. This is a 14-year-old child who, we don't know for a fact if the Klan was involved, but often when the Klan has been involved, people have been lynched or hung, right? Well, these lynchings have happened with different type of material, mainly ropes, but it's also happened with barbed wire, and it's also happened with a few other different types of material. Well, this happened to Emmett Till was lynched with, from my understanding, it was barbed wire. This is a 14-year-old kid, right? The Klan has been operating in some of the most diabolical ways. Man, I've seen so many different pictures, bro. I've seen pictures of the Klan hanging somebody, and then right up under the feet is a fire, right? Can you imagine being hung and set on fire at the exact same time? I've heard stories about women being lynched, prior to that, gang raped. I've seen pictures of, this wasn't necessarily the Klan, but this was Caucasian people. I've seen pictures of like the circus or whatever, like the state fair, and what is sitting where the bullseye, where the bullseye is normally supposed to sit. If you throw in the baseball, what's sitting there is a baby instead of the bullseye.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
I've seen these pictures, right? We got to keep in mind that when we talk about the KKK, and honestly, if we're talking about Caucasian people, period, and there's a lot of Caucasian people who might, they're not going to agree with this, but it's a harsh reality that we're talking about hybrid humans. So when we talk about hybrid humans, they're going to be missing something that the organic family has, right? And we see this in the behavior throughout history, right? Throughout history, we've seen behavior that's just kind of off coming from a lot of the Europeans that were in control and the ones who weren't, from all the way up to the Bushes of the world, all the way down to the Karens, right? We see behavior that's a little strange. Well, when those behaviors kind of get out of control, well, that can go real far right or real far left. Because see, for melanated people to do the kind of stuff that we've seen the KKK do, there's got to be more motivation in that space. Like, you stole $100,000 from me. Now I'm about to have to dig up in you, right? So that might be a driving force. Maybe somebody has promised this person rulership over a nation. But I don't see brothers doing the kind of stuff that I've seen from the KKK. It's almost personal what they've done throughout the decades. A lot of the times we do wild and crazy stuff, especially if it's like connected to hurting someone. We often do that for business. And I'm not saying it's good or right.
Yeah, it's personal.
But when you got people who don't got nothing, they barely trying to make it, and you doing this to them because they coughed the wrong way, the wind blew the wrong way, that sounds like it's something personal going on in here.
I heard they was eating motherfuckers after they barbecued them.
There has been some cannibalism, but I do believe that's a small percentage.
They was hungry back then. I don't care what nobody say. They was hating and hungry.
It wasn't hungry. I can tell you that much.
There's too many H's.
Well, see, one of the things that Caucasian people have not been for the last at least 200 years, outside of the 1920s and 1930s, outside of those time frames, they ain't been hungry, bro. We've been feeding them.
Yeah, they've been eating.
They've had an abundance of food. These farms have had so much food. We've been out there growing everything you could think of. Blackberries, obviously cotton. We've been growing apples, peaches, pears, plums, and the list goes on. Every type of vegetable you could think of. We've been growing all of that. They didn't have everything that they needed. They ain't been hungry except when the Great Depression happened.
If a motherfucker looking at you like you an animal, they eat you.
Well, I mean, when you think about it from that perspective, there has been a bunch of cannibalism, but it's more so been spiritual cannibalism, extracting energy from people, right? So hiring somebody to work a job and then paying them $25 an hour, but what they're charging for their services is $150 an hour.
All right.
This is an extraction of energy. And then that person who earned the $25 an hour, they need some things. They need toilet paper. They need food. They want some alcohol. They need this and they need that. They got to pay their rent, right? And most of the individuals at the end of that cycle of money is often a Caucasian person, right? So this is still part of that extraction of energy in its own ways, right? So it's kind of vampirism.
Yeah, I heard the motherfucker said they kill the enemies of the babies, drink the blood, take the babies to the butcher, and feed them back to you.
That was the Jews.
Yeah, but like I was saying, man, that's a small percentage.
That's crazy.
I mean, it is a problem. I'm not saying it isn't, but it's not even really worth.
You said that's the Jews, Mega?
I mean, from what you just said, that was Rabbi Finkelstein who said that.
I heard that shit, man. I think all of them was doing. I think they all was in cohorts. Jews was owning slaves.
I mean, but you know, one thing I want to say, and which is why I mentioned them. You know, Jewish people have fair skin or white skin, or you know what I'm saying? And a lot of things that are blamed on just regular white people are really stem from them. They the ones who control everything.
Now you're right and exact, you know,
This is the United States of America. We live in the USA. You know what I'm saying?
USA.
Yeah, the people of Israel, they're doing a whole lot of crazy stuff. And that's part of the reason why on one of our last episodes, I think I did, I'm not sure if I did, I pulled up an article about apartheid. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and pull it up now, right? Because y'all want to see this, trust me. So this article, as you can see right here, September 19, 2024, right? And I believe the ruling came months prior to this. But Israel was found guilty of apartheid.
Mm-hmm.
So this is very significant because just 12 days after this article comes out, Israel's attacked by Iran. They sent 200 missiles into Iran on October 1st, 2024, right? So Israel is at the head of a lot of these problems that, let's say, that the Caucasians of the world have imposed upon people. So who are we talking about? Because we're not talking about Israelites. We're talking about Khazarians.
Yep.
We're talking about people north of the Caucasus Mountains, out of that Caucasus Mountains region, and they was able to inhabit Israel, or what we call Israel today, which was Palestine then. So yeah, we got a problem with those guys, but their reign is clearly coming to an end. Their whole situation is unraveling. And everybody who's tuning in, thank y'all for tuning in to Late for Breakfast. This is episode 14. We're talking about indicting the Klan. I'm the guy with the books. We got Purple Do-Rag and Think Mega on the line. Listen, if you got something about indicting the Klan, you can help make that happen, start moving its wheels, put it in the comments.
Oh, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Hey, did y'all see what Anthony Edwards did or supposedly did while we throwing it off? Just a little bit of ratchet sport news real quick.
Nah.
You know, he didn't want a baby with the shorty, so he went and got some child support. He paid the whole child support for 18 years. 3 guys up here. We're gonna vote. Was he wrong? If he was wrong, keep your hand down. If you're right, put your hand up. If you don't care, go like this.
I mean, it's only one. It's only one half of the issue. I mean, yeah, you covering the financial side, but it's more to parenting than finances.
Nah, I don't think dude wanted to be a parent.
He should have wrapped it up then.
Hey, should have, could have, would have.
All we doing is watching history repeat itself. It's pretty much the same exact thing that happened with Karl Malone.
Karl Malone had a little girl, ain't it? Little baby girl. He got pregnant, like 14.
Oh yeah, it was like
This woman 30.
He was in the baby cakes.
Boo, Carl. Carl said ain't that the same guy saying he ain't want nothing to do with his kids?
I don't know. He might have. I ain't 100% sure though.
If they grown, he ain't got to do that. Okay. They grown. They walk a thin line by themselves, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Shout out to them guys for what they do in life, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I ain't mad at him for doing what he chose to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just know that, like always, that ain't gonna be enough.
Better than nothing, I guess.
It's still gonna be
wild though, because everybody be like, "Ain't that your daddy on TV?"
Yeah.
Maybe he gonna change his mind, because that ain't no way in the world, bro. Like, that gotta eat you up at night. You know what I'm saying?
Don't eat everybody up. It don't eat everybody up.
That me? My shit out? My shit went out? I can't hear y'all.
No, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
I can't hear y'all.
So everybody, we talk about indicting the Klan, right? How do we make that happen? We stand together. We trust in God. Because at the end of the day, you can have a couple of Lone Rangers out here go after the Klan if they want to.
It ain't gonna work.
reality of who has control of pretty much all the resources in America, right? So how we really move forward on this is we trust in the laws of Moses. We trust in the laws of the universe. We trust in morality. We trust in our ethics. We trust in principles. And in that space, all unfolds as it should, right? This is called balance. This is what the universe needs is as its main key. This is what the human body needs to sustain itself, right? So balance is the key. And if we become balanced within, what happens is we're able to smite our enemies without even like putting up any effort.
Personally, I mean, it's a good title and maybe something to talk about, but that shit ain't never happening, man.
I don't see it happening.
We had a black president, yo, and I seen more black people die on TV with a black president in office. Like that shit was a reality show.
Like it was
let's stop. Like, I mean, we can have this conversation just to have it for the fun of it, but in reality, it's just a title, bro.
Yeah, but see, like, I want to touch that real quick, man, because Mega, like when somebody said, not just you, because there's a bunch of people who say, yo, we had a black president. That don't matter. What matters is who is in control of the resources. Whoever's in control of the resources, they control all of the world leaders, all of them combined. And so you could have a black president, you could have a purple president, you could have a green one, a yellow one, you could have all the colors of the rainbow. You could have a whole bag of Skittles called the presidents. And what you will never have is change, because these presidents are put in place just to fulfill the national narrative, the national propaganda. This is what they're doing. They're not actually wielding power. They don't have any. It just looks like power.
Yeah, for the TV show. But then that's what, like I said, though, like the resources controlled by the Jews. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the reality. I mean, if you can run some shit that ain't even quote unquote your land, you know what I'm saying? Like, what else you got to do? I mean, like that, like even though I support Trump is right up the Israel ass, just like any other politician. They got both sides, so that's why it don't matter who's president, because they control both sides. You know what I'm saying?
That's my point. But that's what I'm trying to say is, you're right that the Klan. Well, I don't want to say you're right about the Klan never getting indicted. I think they will. I just don't think that it will be happening soon, right? But I do think that it's going to happen, right? Because everybody's got to pay for whatever they've done. There's no running away from it. Like Nipsey Hussle is one of the best ones who said this. He said, listen, man, you can run from these cops. Every now and again, you're going to get away. He said, listen, you could get away. You might be able to get away from child support. You might be able to get away from this person or that situation, but there's no running from the energy. The energy that you put out, it's got to come back eventually. And even if it don't smack you on the ass, it might smack your great grandchild on the ass. But they got to take that ass whooping with all of the interests that come with it as well, right? So it's going to take place, and it might not be an indictment. You honestly might be correct. They may never get indicted, but I can tell you one thing: if it's not an indictment, it's going to be whole bloodlines. It's going to disappear.
But I already think they facing the problems of the energy itself.
It's so major. It has so many years to go that I just think that it ain't no one head. It's many different heads. So even if one organization that they call the Klan down, it'll just be some fall guys. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look, we need some motherfucker to step up to say that they the leader. We need a motherfucker to say, hey, we got 100 motherfuckers. Y'all gonna go to prison. You're gonna go to our prisons. You'll be straight. And they ain't got nothing to lose. They already building motherfuckers to go to war and be in that mindset. That's what they like. That's why they kicked that compound in, because they went out there messing with them gays. But not saying that was the Klan, but it wasn't no black people in there. And I don't give a fuck if you the Scooter Boys, if you all white and y'all got one purpose, just like y'all see us as gangbangers, you're the Klan to me. I see a bunch of white people together. Off top, that's the Klan. I don't give a fuck if it's a bunch of college kids. Little babies with backpacks. Look at the Klan. I don't give a damn. But that is the reality that black people need to look like. When you go to, say, St. Petersburg, Florida, one of the most beautiful spots I ever been to in the country, but it's buku white people out there, and that's the Klan. I don't care what nobody say. That they thinking in their head, I don't give a fuck how much money you got. If you ain't dressed a certain way, you dress like a nigga, they think you out there stealing. They think you're a gangbang. I'm telling you. So when I see them, it's just honor right for me to say, look at the Klan. Be careful. And not only just that, when I see one or two niggas sprinkled up into them, oh, I don't even want to talk to them.
You think you're talking to Mr. Bigsby?
Yeah, whoever, Uncle Ruckus, one of them dudes. I can't talk to them because you know why? They don't live in the same timeline I live in. They think all that shit happened before we were born. You know, it didn't. I remember the Klan rallies in my city. It was one not too long ago. when the boy Victor goddamn was out there sweating all goddamn with to knock the crack out and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how we forget these moments. And this was around the time, what's the guy named? Obama was in the office when they had those rallies in South Carolina. Remember they had one they had two of them like back to back years. The Klan came out there and they ain't gonna have them no more because the city said, fuck that. We'll beat your ass out here.
I'll tell you about a couple of times that one time I think the Klan was involved. This is my personal opinion. Then the other time it was actually the Klan involved. So we got the Charlottesville situation, University of Virginia. Then we've got the other situation. It happened in Edenton, Georgia, in the early 2000s. I think it was like 2002 time frame, and you got some pyramids that was built out there.
Yeah,
and you had a full-fledged interagent. Listen. You had a full-fledged interagency operation that took place. You had agents and sheriffs and police that came from all different states to come together to run up on these Nuwaubian women and children. More than likely, they was coming to blow everybody's head off because they were going to do a sting operation like, I don't know, 3-4 o'clock in the morning, right? If Mega and his family are in a house and somebody run, I don't give a fuck who it is, they run up in your house at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, Mega, what are you doing? Exactly. So if you did that in this situation, now you gave them exactly what they needed to kill everybody in the building, whoever's there, right? So they didn't do the early morning sting operation for whatever the reason was. I guess the Nuwaubians was touched by God, but they did show up and do this interagency operation. Everybody who's listening, this is a real thing that happened in Edenton, Georgia. They ran up on the Nuwaubians at their theme park. These pyramids are built. They were built as a theme park. Okay. Now I didn't see too many brothers out there holding M4s, right, AK-47s, and none of that. That had on a vest that says sheriff, police, FBI. I didn't see a bunch of brothers. I seen a bunch of Caucasian people, and they came together strong to take down Dr. Malachi Z. York and all of the people around him.
So 21 Savage was there too, huh? He was his dad was one of the lieutenants for Malachi Z. York.
Okay.
That's kind of, to me.
I wonder if 21 Savage mom was getting smashed by Malachi York too.
So maybe they doing
that too.
Maybe they brainwashed Cuz, put him out here, and that's why he's the next big rapper.
See, when it comes down to like the price or the sacrifice that took place for all of that to take place, we talking about Jacob York. If you do your research on him, you already know who he ran with. Take that. Gotta pay some hefty prices to get big in the music business.
Oh,
What better
yeah.
price than someone like Dr. Malachi Z. York and his entire organization?
It's a major price to be on that television.
And just for everybody out there who's listening, Jacob York is Dr. Malachi Z. York Eel's son. You start doing your research on that, brother, you start seeing some things. But on the flip side, you know, we're talking about indicting the Klan, y'all. I'm the guy with the books. We got Think Mega in the building. Purple do-rags over here. We're Slate for breakfast. All right, check this out, y'all. People have been done wrong for a very long time by the Ku Klux Klan. How do you feel about it? Throw it in the comments.
My first experience of racial, like some racial shit, and it was I was in the, I want to say the first grade. I was in West Columbia, South Carolina. I'm from South Carolina. When we was living in West Columbia at the time, I forget the elementary school, but it was me and an Indian kid. I remember the shit, and he was damn near my complexion. So I wanted to talk to him. And he said,
Was he from India or was he like West Indian?
He was not like a American, what they would call American Indian or indigenous person to America.
So from the country India.
From the country Indian. Like his people own one of the stores type shit. So I went to talk to him because I ain't never seen one before, but I had to ask him, like, you black? He like, no, and we can't talk to black people. So then I'm like, what? We can't talk to black people. So the day went on, and all the kids was just being mean as hell. And I told the teacher, like, yo, why everybody being mean to me? She told me, shut up, little black boy, sit your ass down. That's the first time I've ever, like, felt isolated and felt different than other kids. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of like stuck with me. Like, I have met white people that I'm friends with and cool with, but I ain't cool with, like, I'm going to their crib and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's the first time I've ever experienced that. And it got worse as you got older. So that was my first experience dealing with the Klan.
I mean, for me, I know for those who don't know, Chicago is the most segregated city of all the major cities in America. So, like, I ain't gonna really say Klan so much, but because, like, you know, I can't say that for sure, but I do know it was a mall called Evergreen Plaza in Chicago that was the shit back in the day. But it was in a neighborhood that was like, it was in a more of a uppity type area or white area at the time. And now we was youngins, we was kids. We had skipped school and went to the mall one day. And we was leaving. We walked past this pool hall. That's the one thing I probably say my first experience. But we walked past this pool hall, and no bullshit, the white dudes that looked out the door because the door was open and shit. They was like, they straight said niggas and started chasing us with the damn pool sticks. Now they ain't catch nobody, but you know. But I gotta say, I'm a firm believer of proximity crimes. So I can say I don't know much. I can't speak much about the KKK because I don't think I've ever been in close proximity with them, and if I have, they ain't make it known. So, but it's just like for me, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we could talk about the Klan and shit, but. And I mean, again, this is what they choose to show. That's what they show us. I mean, they already show us a lot acting like degenerates, one. But two, like when we just look at the reality of things, bro. The Klan ain't killed King Von, Mo 3, Nipsey Hussle. I can go down the list. Like
the police killed King Von.
Yeah, allegedly, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, you know. And even the cops that they say killed him, they was black too, you know what I'm saying? So
they part of the Klan.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, like, you know, that's perspective right there. I can't I can't say that. I don't just group everybody into the Klan like how you said, like, you know, if they white,
No
they
offense to
Klan.
Commandante.
Yeah, that ain't how I do it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I don't know, man. It's just like, I guess, you know, like, I don't think about things that I ain't really dealt with like that. But I just feel like, man, like, you know, when even something you said earlier, like, you was like black people. I'll be honest, bro. I hate when people say black people like we some group. We not. We don't fuck with each other, yo. We don't like if somebody got more than us. We don't like if somebody got something that we want. We don't. I mean, we just don't like each other. Like, and I mean, and like even on some real shit, like even how so many black people be stuck on a Democrat plantation. Yo, bro, when I look at the people that voted for Kamala Harris, yo, and this might sound funny, I think they said it was like 98% or 92%. 92% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. Bro, that's probably 92% of women I never get along with. That's black. It had me questioning they not style my race, my nigga. Because you gotta be dumb. You gotta be dumb to still vote for Democrats, yo. You gotta be straight dumb. And then, like, who introduced the Klan? The Democrats.
Well, see, you know, I feel like if anybody's still voting, period, they're dumb, because they're not realizing what this is. They're not voting for real candidates. This is a system of illusion of choice. So, like with the presidency, what they did was they took clown A and clown B, and they said, "All right, both of y'all go play in the circus. Let's see who the crowd likes more." And then whichever one that the crowd likes more, that's who gets to be the main circus clown, right? This is what it is for just about all of the political positions. There, you got a small percentage of people who are real standing in those positions, but they don't have enough backing to be able to really do anything to change anything. They're just kind of there fighting an uphill battle, you know. So but on the flip side, when I think about the Klan, I think about my people getting ran over by horses and shot by water hoses, attacked by dogs. When I think about the Klan, I think about seeing signs where my homeboy was like, "Man, you know, I just walked 5 miles. I'm thirsty," and he see this sign, and now he can't get no water because it say whites only. You know, when I think about the Klan, I think about many of our brothers and sisters being told new names that they're gonna have, and they won't take the name, so their teeth get knocked out, and then they get sent back out to work again like nothing even happened. You know, I think about all the brothers and sisters who they ended their physical life at the end of a rope. I think about the ones who was beat to death. When I think about the Klan, I think about the brothers, the real strong brothers, our brothers who are in NFL, and you know, they rugby, you know, they doing the wrestling, powerlifting, and they was the Mandingo fighters. they was the entertainment, a fight to the death between the equivalent of Ray Lewis and Lawrence Taylor, right? And you get all the guys with the big money to show up for that, right? This is what I think about when I think about the Ku Klux Klan. I think about a group of people who wielded a large amount of power, completely overused it, without any real understanding of the price that will have to be paid one day for it.
We need to clip that. That'll go viral right there. We need to clip that. We need to clip that little part. Soon when you said, my thoughts on the Klan is, we need to clip all that, and we need to put it on the joint, because man, me too, but I'm in the sense of right now, I see it in everything, especially with working. What you like, how you broke down to $25 an hour, and the nigga gonna make $1.25 off you
every hour.
And that's just $1.25, because the next job can be goddamn 7,000. You still gonna get paid fucking $25.
I seen the. I used to do carpentry work, so I seen the order that was put out from the company to the client, and it had us. It had every one of the workers listed for like $90 an hour, and and I understood that. It made perfect sense. It was honestly fair for the level of work that we put out. But I remember my paycheck. It said $15 an hour. Now, this is not necessarily the Klan. However, when you got a group of people who look like you, who get this much power, and then they misuse it, and they create this mass amount of fear. Now you got a whole bunch of Caucasian people who, some knowingly, others unknowingly, are wielding the power of the Klan without them truly understanding that they are.
I think of the Klan, I think of Big U. He oppressed black people, he extort black people, he killed black people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
but he's a gangbanger, he's a nigga. You know what I'm saying? He a nigga that adapted.
That only did shit to black people.
Yeah, but he a nigga that adapted Klan ways. That's where these folks, that's where they come from. They go from, they OGs told them to protect the hood, and they went from protecting the hood to extorting the people. You know what I'm saying?
I saw something, you know what I'm saying, today. I saw this video today where it was this dude from Chicago talking about it. And it's funny because I said the same thing. I made a post like last week. I'm like, hey, yo, the biggest difference, I mean, I know LA is gang ridden, Chicago is gang ridden, but like I always say, the biggest difference is Big U wouldn't have got indicted. Big U would have got smoked, even if it was by a young nigga. Ain't nobody having that shit, yo.
Listen.
Ain't no one person strong enough to run shit like that in Chicago. Nobody, yo.
I've been to LA, I've been to Chicago. In my mind, I can't tell you which one is bigger because I done stood on that little hill and looked over LA. I done had
LA is bigger by population and by landmass.
But fucking y'all got more buildings that go up with people in them, so it ain't no telling. It's a lot of people that ain't even supposed to be out there, and a lot of people can jump in and out the motherfucking them Canadian borders, man. It's too deep up there. And but
I just know nobody runs from 20 to 60 doing whatever they want to do to anybody without them getting took the fuck out of here, yo.
Something's gonna happen to him eventually.
I mean, what he going through now. I'm talking about, bro, you wouldn't have made it to that, yo. You wouldn't have made it to that, bro. I can, like, yo, I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. One of the things that's one of the biggest shits in Chicago is knocking off somebody who was that nigga. I mean, look how they took Duck out. Duck was that nigga in Chicago. Like, in Chicago streets, Duck rep was bigger than Dirk, yo. In the streets of Chicago, Duck rep was bigger than Dirk. What I'm saying is, bro, when you get to a certain level, everybody on your head, yo.
Right.
And and it could be a little nigga, yo, that take you up out of here, bro. They ain't having it, son. I ain't never known of a Big U in Chicago. Even being gone. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't work like that out there.
I guess it's more niggas like Trick in a sense, but when I think of Chicago, I think of young guys. You know what I'm saying?
Cause ain't no rule, ain't nobody no leader, my nigga.
It ain't no niggas like you see the OG. They got their own podcast. The OGs from Chicago. They be talking about the history of the gangsters and all that. A lot of them people just started out of church,
and
you know,
and them old heads, they out the way.
All the way, and they ain't back in the fear.
They know what happened to them too. Like they know, son. Especially when you ran it for a long time. You like you said, you brought a lot of pain to a lot of families. It ain't gonna last that long, yo. It ain't gonna last that long.
Listen, right now, if these people never got the, like we went through an era where we didn't even take pictures, bro. You couldn't even take pictures with your homies. A nigga be like, bro, what the fuck you put camera? You got a camera phone? Don't come in here. Leave your shit in the car. Literally, I got blank years of my life where I don't have no pictures because it was a rule. Don't record it here. Don't take no pictures in the spot. Matter of fact, don't take no pictures with me. I don't want to take no pictures. That shit, I ain't no bitch. Now niggas is all in. Like I'm in front of the camera because it's just that age. And I actually like looking at myself too. So anyways, but now people get in front of that camera
and tell on themselves.
Like ain't nobody on the other side of that bitch, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck if it says 0 on live. You don't know who got a ghost joint that's going around offline and sitting in your shit just looking. Because I can go offline and go right into your live. You'll never see me.
Mm-hmm.
People just, I don't know what made these guys, like, I guess it's just their egos are so, have such a big cloud over them that they don't see what can happen. Like, Big U, your son plays for the Chargers, bruh. You telling me you extorting Chargers, Rams, Lakers, Clippers, fucking hockey players, and he ain't stopping at just niggas. He just going crazy.
It's called greed.
That it is finest. At its finest. You can't go to LA because you got XYZ much money and you chilling.
It just
like,
killed me, man. Like the whole story of hit how he was doing shit. I just be like, damn, did they stop making guns in Cali after they made his? Like, I just don't get it, bro. I don't get it, bro. He talking about all the fights he won. How many fights you won against bullets, my nigga? Like, I don't understand it, son. I don't understand it, yo.
I already got put on his pockets. See, young nigga about 5'4", stocky nigga, put him on.
Oh yeah, facts. Who he allegedly smoked too, or got smoked too. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no alleged. That man, I remember watching the game because I'm a Chargers fan, and they showed because Tyler Hinckley was going crazy that day, and they showed his parents. And when I tell you, it just had like a little sinister, you know, like you. This is a playoffs. You know, you ever been to a football game? It's giant bright in there. It ain't no basketball where they dimming the crowd out. Man, they just, and it was like every seat and 2 rows around them was kind of empty. I was like, yo, that's a cold motherfucker right there, buddy. I'm telling you, you know he ain't want nobody sitting next to him. Them seats was empty for him. I'm telling you, and he probably extorted fucking the Sopranos. I'm telling you, man, look. You put them in the room, you ain't even gotta extort them. Them people be like, they already know who you is. They probably won't even let him in them rooms for real. That's why he's still outside. But he know the motherfuckers out there. But yeah, man, back on the Klan. We don't know Big U or the Klan. We won't know who Big U or the Klan is. You know, it ain't nobody gonna trade off the Big U or the Klan.
And I mean, and that's why they able to move how they move. Cause I mean, hey, like we were just talking about a minute ago, and just like how the mafia moved, because that's what these gangs would have patted themselves off after is the mafia. The mafia moved in silence, yo. If you're doing anything outside the lines of what's considered civil, I mean, you can't be all on Front Street, especially talking about the shit you're doing. Like, I mean, that's why like just like niggas said, I mean, that's why I don't think the Klan will get indicted. Yeah, I can see them getting, retribution for the energy, but it's just in reality, with indictment, that goes to the law, the legal system, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, like we've seen people who we don't know if they was Klan or not, but like the dude who raped a girl, white dude in college raped a girl, and the judge said he think jail time would be too much. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, he raped the drunk girl behind the trash.
What I'm saying is, bro, it's like to expect legal recourse from the people that's involved with the law, no matter whether they're doing right or wrong. I just don't think that's realistic.
Right.
I could honestly see it happening in 2040 time frame. So one of the things that I've talked about to both of y'all privately and on this podcast is about Uranus and Gemini. But I've also talked to y'all about the unraveling of the system as it's happening right now. We're heading towards a total system collapse. Now, when we think about a total system collapse, we got to think about who's in charge of the system. I would say a bunch of them might be descendants of clan members, right? They may be clan members themselves. So if they fall, if their power structure completely falls and something else is stood up, which I guarantee will take place by no later than 2031 or 2032, the seed of whatever needs to be put in place, or the full in place setup of a new government in this land, yeah, that's going to take place within the next 5 years. So by 2040, we're going to have, I believe, Saturn will enter Libra, and when Saturn enters Libra, it's either exalted or it rules Libra, one or the other. But Saturn is the planet of justice. Libra is the zodiac sign of partnership, harmony, balance, justice as well, right? So this is where justice is going to reign. If the Caucasians who've been, wreaking havoc on society, they completely come to an end as far as their power structure in the next 5 years, 10 years from then, yeah, I could see them sit. I could see a bunch of them sitting in front of a judge that don't look like them though.
Definitely a lot of black judges popping up. Definitely.
And I'll tell you for exact when Saturn will enter Libra. When that happens, there's a lot of special things that's about to take place.
We got that book out, fam. Don't miss
That
it.
happens exactly on September the 6th, 2039. A lot of people who done did some real terrible things to whoever, whether they did it to humanity or they did it to this person or that person, they haven't properly atoned for that energy, they're going to pay a hefty price. If they don't pay it while Uranus is in Gemini, they'll pay it by around September and October of 2039, and for the next 2.5 years, because Saturn takes 29.5 years to orbit the sun. So it's in each zodiac sign for 2.5 years. So from September of 2039 until I don't know, sometime in 2042.
Power got to switch hands, and that's what it looked like it's already pushing towards anyway. There's some, I mean, the pieces is already there just to decipher, but it's going to be a word war first. This niggas talking shit, a lot of laws getting passed, and a lot of niggas don't pay attention to January or July. When shit go down, we don't pay attention to town meetings. Only time we paid attention to town meetings is when Mr. Mays was still alive in Flint.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you right now, man, none of that shit matters, bro. I'm telling you right now, it don't matter what part of the political process. The system is specifically set up to get the results it's getting right now. And it's going to get those results whether we had somebody righteous in them offices or we didn't. If we, as people who are righteous in those offices, then those people are going to die. They're going to get assassinated. They're going to get moved out of there somehow. They're going to get discredited. The system is set up the way it's set up to get the results we see right now. And it don't matter who's in those offices. We're going to get those results because of who's really in power. When we talk about who's really in power, we're not talking about no politicians in America. We're talking about people that are called Zionists.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Zionist? Who is the Zionist?
Those are the families of people who were part of that Jekyll Island meeting in the early 1900s to create the Federal Reserve and take control of all of the world's finances.
7 families.
12.
12.
It's in a book in the Mastermind Library called Secrets of the Federal Reserve, if anybody wants to check it out. But these are the people who control everything. They control all the major resources. They control all of the industries. They control the financial system. They control the trade of goods. They control everything. Doesn't matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So Mega brought up the great point about the people of Israel. They're high up in this order of people who are making these decisions.
Mm-hmm.
We're playing out an agenda. So these agendas, it doesn't matter who the leader is.
Right.
It just matters if the leader wants to stay alive or not. Most of them want to stay alive, so they'll do whatever they got to do. The ones who ain't really worried about their life, then they find some other kind of leverage against them. But once they got that leverage, they utilize it consistently. And this is part of the reason why you could get somebody like a Beyonce to almost never do interviews. One of the most popular people in the entire world, you almost never see her on interviews. It isn't because she's waiting for the most exclusive one. It's because she's got people who are telling her how to move. And it ain't Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Every one of the senators, all of the congressmen, each of them have a battle buddy from Israel. President Obama gave the information away in his book. So we got to understand that it doesn't make a difference whether brothers went to the town hall meetings or if sisters went to hear their state delegate talk or if brothers show up in droves to vote. It doesn't matter who they vote for. And if any of the brothers say, you know what, listen, I'm going to stand up for the people. I'm going to be that guy. Man, they'll start taking that group of people apart piece by piece with ease. Some of them will want pussy. They'll make sure they got plenty of it. Some of them will want cocaine. They'll make sure they got a whole lot of it. Others will want something else. They'll make sure they got all of those things. And all of those things, as they utilize those things, each of them utilize those things, it'll start to pull them apart and create so much dissension within that it's like a dynamite stick that's just been lit in the middle of 5 people or 50 people or 500 people. This is what you're dealing with.
That's how we as a people act. Like you said, you got some on drugs, you got some on multiple drugs, you got some on alcohol, you got some chasing pussy, you got some chasing bussy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, and that's why the way we are, you know what I'm saying?
The only way to solve this problem, to get the Klan indicted, to solve that problem and to solve all these other problems I just talked about, is literally, it requires purity. It requires us to return back to what our ancient ancestors, how they lived. So that just brings us back to the Great Covenant. Honor thy father and thy mother, for thy days to be long upon the earth land, which the Lord thy God Allah hath given thee. Now, this is the Moorish American information, right? Then we've got the Bible that says almost the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. Well, what is the honoring of the father and the ancient foremothers and the ancient forefathers? It's living purity. And in that space, what's unlocked here is all of the secrets, all of the information, and it puts us in a position to align effectively, not just aligning by saying, hey, let's sing Kumbaya while we doing this. You put your arm here, you put your arm there. It's not just that. It's telepathy. It's us connecting through the ethers. And in that space, we start to develop unity effectively. And what's revealed is the way forward on how to smite our enemies without almost not even doing any work. But most of us don't want to live that life of purity. And unfortunately, those who are choosing not to do that, they're about to have a major wake-up call once Uranus hits Gemini. And that takes place in July of 2025 for everyone who wants to know. Those who ain't honoring their father and mother based on the way I just explained, they're literally about to have a major problem, bro. And I'm talking about some of them are they're gonna have their reputation completely shattered. So this will be, that's mild for what's about to take place. A lot of them, they're checking out. I don't care how old they are. They're checking out. If they won't listen, they're checking out. Because the information I'm talking about is in so many different books. And the reason why it can be there is because we're talking about an 84-year cycle. So it's happened over and over and over and over again. Well, the ones that get lucky and they just have their reputation and their finances destroyed, or excuse me, the ones who don't get lucky, they checking out. And then the ones that don't get that kind of blessing, where it's just them that check out, whole bloodlines gone. Wickedness is being wiped out, but people got to understand what wickedness is. That's why I'm not worried about the Klan getting indicted. I know it's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen by us as the judges, it's going to happen by Allah during something like Uranus and Gemini, or in 2039 for that 2.5 years where Saturn will be in Libra. Somehow in one of these two time frames, the Ku Klux Klan is going to pay a major price, but the price will be so much smoother for us watching it and implementing it if we was to properly unify utilizing purity. So for everybody out there who's listening, I'm gonna land my plane real quick, right? For everybody out there who's listening, they want to understand what purity is. Purity is purifying the thoughts, purifying the way that you think, aligning your thoughts with authenticity, aligning your thoughts with love, compassion, and empathy, aligning your thoughts with truth and freedom and justice, right? Getting away from those thoughts of wanting to hurt somebody because they did something stupid. Getting away from those thoughts of desiring things that lead you down a path of chaos. All right. That's the purifying of the thoughts. And there's a purifying of what you put in your mouth. You're supposed to be eating what grows from the earth. There's nothing in a bag or a box you're supposed to be eating. So if you want to purify how you eat, there you go. Grow a garden. Eat what grows out of the garden. Go into the forest. Eat what grows out of the forest. Purify what comes in your ears. There really ain't no music with lyrics that we should be listening to. Unless those lyrics is directly focused on love, compassion, or empathy, probably shouldn't be listening to it, because it's probably leading you down a path of disaster. Most people shouldn't be listening to music at all because they don't understand how the music is shaking their chakra system. If they don't even understand their chakra system, music shouldn't even be turned on. They're not qualified to listen to music, and they don't even understand it. And because what you're doing, if you're listening to music that's shaking your chakra system in a certain type of way, you're destroying your own DNA and don't even know it. Yes, that happens through vibration for everyone who may not know, right? So you want to purify what you're listening to, not just music, entertainment as a whole, conversations, what you're saying to yourself out of your own mouth.
Yeah.
All of this is what you're putting in your ears, right? Anything, right? Now, you also want to purify what you're putting on your skin. A lot of people are putting toxins in this way, this way, this way, this way, and this way. And they never really figure out why their life is having so many problems, right? So if we want to stand together and be able to get the monkey off of our back like the Klan, we got to purify. And it's hard. I'll be honest with everybody out there. It's very difficult to do. However, it opens doors that you can't open, but that's the only way to open them. It's all the doors to my Father's many mansion. Boop, they all fly open.
Look, he on the road tonight. So with that being said, I'm gonna shout out my guys, man. Go to FHIT. I say FHI. FHTII.com. You know what I'm saying? The guy with the books, check out his portfolio, all the way retarded. Think Mega TV. You already know what's going on with him. Plantbased.com. Go check his shit out right now. While we on there, you got a phone in your hand, TV, something, everything connected to the internet. And oh yeah, purpledurag.com, under construction. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna, you know what I mean? Something I stepped out and went and seen my brother. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But you know, we getting there. Give us about a week, maybe. We're gonna be popping. Well, shout out to you guys. Definitely appreciate everything, man. We started early today. We back on that 7 to 9. You know what I mean? And with that, was thinking about something. I remember when the Bloods had mad people get locked up at one time, and then the Crips took over. Now all these Crip guys are up under. I'm talking about in the like the nigga world, in the music, in the entertainment. Now all these Crip guys are getting indicted and locked up, and now it's like you see a lot of GD guys. You see a lot of GD guys coming up in the ranks. Just like a lot of Chicago guys is coming up. Like, I see a pattern. Do y'all see that pattern? I mean, the guy with the books probably don't listen to that, but do y'all see that type pattern?
I mean, I see it. I see the pattern. You know, the pattern is really slots in prison. The patterns is if facilities are earning enough money or not. You know, the reality of each one of us to them is we're a bag of money. You know what I'm saying? So for them to get the bag of money, we got to be a part of the system in multiple different ways. Well, these guys who are in the Bloods and the Crips, they're not at your local community college unless they're picking up females, but they're not paying tuition. You know what I'm saying? They're not. A lot of them are not working your regular everyday jobs. You know, so they're paying taxes. You know, these are individuals who, in their own way, have checked out of the system, but they didn't do it properly. They're not moving in their proper person. They're still moving as their fictitious entity. So now we got to get some worth out of you somehow if you still gonna be in our system. So that pattern that you're speaking of, as far as like my perspective on it, is it's really about slots in prison, and it's also about how many organs are needed, you know, in the organ trade and these types of things.
It's super real how you said though about that is what they do. It's just like you said, with that social security number, they got to get something out of that, yo. So if you ain't, like you said, working and paying taxes, we got somewhere for you to be where you're gonna make some money for us, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like that's real.
It's all about filling slots. That's what America is about, man. America's got a lot of slots, bro. You know, you got slots in school, you got slots in work, you got slots in sports, you got slots in prison, you got slots everywhere. You got to fill some kind of a slot if you're going to play their Monopoly game. You know, but it's also about population control. You know, so there's a few different agendas that are playing out. One of the agendas that's also playing out when it comes down to these gangs is identifying Black messiahs. Because see, when you think about a Black messiah, you're talking about somebody who has freed themselves of the bounds of the system. And now they're out here saying, nah, listen, I don't give a damn how y'all do whatever, but this how I'm doing it. Right. And if you'd like to join me, go ahead and pick up a 9 or a Draco or AK-47, pick up something and you can walk with me, right? Well, they scared of them kind of people. They real scared of them kind of people because they know that they're not well funded. So for them to get followers, those are people who believe in their message. Fred Hampton, Stokely Carmichael, Malcolm X, list goes on. My point that I'm trying to make to everybody who's out here listening, thank y'all so much. We late for breakfast. This is episode 14. We talk about indicting the Klan. I'm the guy with the books. We got Purple Do-Rag and Think Mega on the line. Listen, we getting deep into understanding the agenda of what's playing out here, right? Because we're talking about slots, but we're also talking about depopulation, but we're also talking about organs. Because when you talk about these gangs and people getting locked up like crazy, listen, these are some strong brothers.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm Mr. Wojnarowski and I need a new liver, what better liver than from Ray Ray down the block? Yeah, Ray drinks alcohol every day. And he's out here playing basketball like he's drinking water. I want his liver. Soon as y'all tell me he locked up, listen, once he get up in here,
he's sick.
He did something.
He's sick.
Make up something. He's sick.
He's sick.
Bring him something.
That shit makes so much sense because a lot of these old heads you get into prison, man, them folk be 60, 70 years old. They look older, but like they look young though. 50, maybe 45, but they 60, 70 years old. And all of a sudden, you be like, yo, I got cancer or some crazy shit. Now they had the fucking infirmary. Oh man, they had to take my goddamn kidney. They had to take a lung. Bro, I had pneumonia. They had to take a lung. Like,
bro, I watched a video like 2 days ago, right? This female, she did a quick video, like 60 seconds. And started off with this dude who was talking about an organ, talking about how much a heart costs. So he's like, yeah, a heart costs $449,000, right? And then they said that the operation was 1.6 million. Bruh, if you got to spend that kind of money, you want the best organ you can get. So you want somebody who looks like Henrietta Lacks.
Pull that picture up of Henrietta Lacks.
For everybody who don't know who Henrietta Lacks is, go study her. I'm pulling her up right now. She is very, very important in the medical world.
Oh yeah, because her DNA is still going around.
They found the immortality gene in her.
Yeah. Yes. I was just reading up on that not too long ago. I remember that shit. I was like, oh yeah. Yeah. She's gonna live forever, man. Her DNA will.
People need to understand what's really going on here. We're talking about dominant versus recessive genes. If you get deep in this and you understand who's got the dominant genes and who's got the recessive ones, you'll start to understand why the oppression has happened in America and in every other nation on the planet that's called civilized. There's been oppression there, and the oppression has been on the people that could be considered black and brown. Well, why? Because these individuals, if you even give them this much, they start flying. You give them this much, and they do extraordinary things. They make things out of thin air. So you got to keep them down. And if you don't keep them down, they start ruling you in a very, very short period of time. They took the lid off of music. They took the glass lid off of music. They took the glass lid off of sports. They took the glass lid off of entertainment, like movies and stuff like that. And then next thing you know, in less than 75 years, one country has influenced the entire goddamn world. Not one country, even though it's one country, one group of people from one country. One group of people from one country in 75 years who are still being oppressed to this day are influencing the entire world. I've seen Korean women having twerking contests. What? There was no ass in the room, but they was twerking. I see so many women on social media, African chicks, right? These chicks are walking down a red clay dirt road barefoot, but they look like Nicki Minaj above the ankles. They got on
them barefoot motherfuckers be fired up. You hear me?
Yo, one of the most popular rappers in the world right now is I think he's a Korean dude or he's a Chinese dude. He's got a great flow, but where did you learn that from? Where'd you get that from? Who is your inspirations? Because I guarantee you it's not Mr. Kim down the block. I promise you it's not Mr. Kim.
I was listening to Japanese music.
Prodigy. It might be a Jeezy. It might be Jay-Z. It might be KRS-One. But I guarantee you that young man who's doing such a great job with his rapping career right now, traveling the world, and he's got some major flow online, I guarantee you he didn't learn that from his homie down the street who was making noodles.
Them Japanese niggas, I was listening to their shit. They got major flow. And the girls, they go just as hard as the dudes. The Japanese, when I'm telling you from the style, how they do, they even get locks in Japan now. Like, listen, carbon copies, bruh. Listen. That's why I think high of myself and my fellas. Anybody I love, even the people I don't even care about that much, I know that you are worth more than what you even can dream of. You know what I'm saying? Everything I manifested today, it started off just me thinking. Like, yo, I gotta do this. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna stay in this. I made it about myself. You know what I'm saying? And if I had a group of people that, like my fellas here, we doing this podcast every Tuesday, 7 p.m.ish, nigga, 7 p.m.ish, nigga time, because I'm on nigga time. Then we're going to end at 9. Some days we might start at 8. We're going to keep y'all informed. I'm going to drop more videos, share with my people, and get it to y'all. But I manifested this. We all can manifest this shit to be something bigger, especially with the audience that we have, the same viewers every day that come in and fuck with us every week, time and time. El Comandante, Miss Beverly, Jason, Scrap on my end on Facebook, my nephew, everybody on Guy Wit Da Books in, everybody that's tapping in with us. Y'all gonna make this bigger because the motherfucking the energy is good. We bringing something different. We all have got the same focus. Yeah, that's what I gotta say on that, man. You know what I mean? Just putting our mind to something that's greater than ourselves type shit.
No, I appreciate that, man, because that's what we need to do. But like I said before, it requires purity. That's the thing that most of us have as our blockers. It's the reason why so many people have their anxieties and their depressions and so many different problems that they're dealing with is as a result of not walking the path of purity. Walking the path of purity will help each person fully unfold like a beautiful rose, fully unfold like the 1,000-petal lotus flower, right? And each petal will, as it unfolds, it'll just be a different part of their life of some type of challenge that they've overcome. Well, why were you able to overcome those challenges? Because of how purity works. It puts us in a position to see the world as a black and white space, and the steps we're supposed to take in our spiritual walk light up like neon colors. Well, if you got a whole bunch of brothers and sisters who are walking in a black and white world and their steps are lighting up like neon colors and they're standing on a strong foundation of truth and they're walking this path and they're never missing a step. They're dance revolution kings and queens. Well, next thing you know, communities start to rise. People start to be healed. Education systems start to be not watered down anymore. Politicians become real. All of these things start to change because of the purifying of the nation, right? So we need purity more than anything else. Many of our people are utilizing poison on a daily basis, wanting change. This is what insanity is. Insanity is when you got a person or a group of people who want a change in something, but they keep doing the same thing, thinking that they're going to get change. No, we're not going to get change while we're showing up paying for what the quote unquote oppressor is giving to us. No, we've got to supply for ourselves. We've got to be producers. This is what puts us in a position to be able to indict the Klan. We don't wield that level of power until we actually come from our base of power. Our base of power is mother, father, child. Mother, father, child. This is our base of power. Our base of power is eating from that earth. Our base of power is going outside, getting sunlight directly to exposed skin. Without lotion, without suntan lotion and all that nonsense that people buy at the store. Don't buy that stuff. It's not good for you at all. Read the ingredients list and then Google those ingredients so you can see what your skin is drinking. Everything you put on your skin is drinking it. So if you're going to put something on your skin, put some coconut oil on your skin. Put some black seed oil on your skin. Put something on your skin that helps you become who you really are. Every one of you out there that look like me and look like my brother Purple Durag and look like my brother Think Mega, every single one of y'all is empresses and emperors. But as long as you keep ingesting poison through these, this, that, and this, you get to be Pookie down the block, even though you really blah, 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 son of this person, king, head protector of the house of blah, blah, blah. That's who you really are. That's Purple Durag, son of an empress, the house of Newport News. This your motherfucking emperor right here. So is Mega. So am I. But it requires the path of purity to reveal yourself. See, I know who we are. I know who everyone is who's listening. But for you to know who you are, for you to truly unfold that, for people to see you and for them to be like, oh, wow, that's he different. That guy right there, he's different. Y'all really appreciate what he's doing. I'm gonna ask him a couple of questions. I want to know how he gets things done. That requires walking the path of purity. And this is, I don't want nobody to think that I'm off on a tangent. I want everybody to truly understand how we indict the Klan. See, we indict the Klan when we come together in unity, the Bantu. Unity is only going to happen if we purify. So we got to let go of this European infrastructure. We got to let go of our need for Rome. We got to let go of our need for the Colosseum. We got to let go of our need for those squared screens. We got to let go of our need for rectangles and 90-degree angles. We got to let go of that. And we got to come back to the purity of honoring thy father and thy mother, for thy days to be long upon the earth land, which the Lord thy God Allah hath given thee.
It's going to be a long time before niggas get on the same page for shit show.
I promise you it won't be. Because Uranus is about to enter Gemini. And once that takes place, those who don't take what I just said serious, I feel sorry for them, my brother, but I will send flowers to their family.
Listen. Motherfucker find out one way or another, eh?
Yeah, a lot of them, it'll be in the next life. See, I'm giving this message in a certain urgency right now. I'm kind of really pushing everybody right now because I want y'all to understand that time is about to run out. Not time is about to run out in the universe. Not time is about to run out on the earth. The earth is going to keep doing what it do. However, the time is running out for people to be prepared before the judgment time period comes. So we got about a year left. So this is a process where a person has a chance to kind of cram before the test. Anybody who isn't ready for this test, the failure of this test is not your parents being called, hey, look, Ray didn't do good on the test. I'm sorry, he got a 25. I'm going to let him take it again, but he got to get at least a 55 to pass the class. No, this isn't one of those types of tests. This is one of those tests where if you fail, and understand that you either get 100 or you get a 0 on this test. There is no 55s. There's no 82s on this test. And if you fail, chances are you going 6 feet under the ground. And more than likely, you might not even have that happen. You might get to stay above ground, but you ain't going to live. Your life is going to be forfeit. For the others who get like a really bad 0 on this test, we're talking about their whole bloodline gone. This is a true test of character, morals and principles, universal laws. This is the test of all time because we're at the beginning of a new great year. Remember, I've talked to you guys about the age of Aquarius. When we come into the age of Aquarius, that means that we just crossed the vernal equinoctial point, which means that we completed a great year, which takes 25,920 years. Every time we come into a new great year, we start the new matriarchal period. So the great year is broken up in half. Nearly 13,000 years is matriarchal or feminine energy. Nearly 13,000 years is patriarchal, masculine energy. Well, we just came into the start of the feminine energy for 13,000 years. Well, that would mean that the patriarchal, even though its power is waning, it still has the bulk of the power. So we're looking at this right now, a spiritual hurricane while Uranus is about to enter Gemini, and it's symbolic of revolution and rebellion, sudden changes, unexpected things. And Gemini is symbolic of communications and the way that we think. Havoc is about chaos, is about to be in the realms of communication and the way people think. Now think about how many emotional thinkers that are out there. Everybody's triggered about everything. You breathe the wrong way, they triggered. You started to whistle a tune and they're triggered. Well, what happens when you speed all that up? When you throw a little more aggression into all of that? Yeah, you about to have a bunch of bloodlines that's about to disappear. So those are the ones that you just talked about, Purple Durag. You say, hey, a bunch of them ain't gonna do it. You're right, they're not. That's the reason why they're about to come to the end. The ones who listen and they follow the directions, not from Ferdinand, because this ain't Ferdinand's directions. These directions are written about in the Bible. They're written about in the Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. They're written about in the Quran of Mecca. They're written about in the Vedic and Manic laws. They're written about in teachings of Buddha. They're written about in Confucianism. Listen, these are not my laws, but they all of these religions that I just called out, every one of them agree on it.
It's a lot of that shit pointing that way, man. It's a silent war that's going to be major. Like anything else, it just, next thing you know, you're getting bombed or shot at. But it's going to be more than just that.
Yeah, another guard. We're talking about the tail becoming the head and the head becoming the tail. We're talking about a changing of the guard from these Europeans who are in power right now to the people who are actually in power. Actually right now, and have been in power the entire time. They just didn't know who they are. This is why they call themselves Black, Negro, Colored, African American. None of these are tied to nations. You can't find them in documents in Washington that's describing a people of a nation. They're not used for that. They're scarlet letters. So these people who don't know who they are, who have been in control the whole time, but just have relinquished their control in a certain way to another group of people, even though it's through duress, they still relinquish their control. They're still in control of the land, all of them. This tail becoming the head is us becoming the head. But the only way we can effectively step into our highest level of leadership to be able to wield that power is to do what it says in Revelation chapter 2, verses 24 through 29. It tells you in that chapter, in those last 5 verses, that the people of Thyatira who have taken on Satan's so-called ways, they about to get dashed like pieces of pottery by the ones who don't learn Satan's so-called deep secrets. It says it right in chapter 2 of Revelations. And it says that those who haven't taken on Satan's so-called deep secrets, they're going to be handed a scepter of power over nations. And they'll be also be gifted the morning star, which we know is the sun. So if you're gifted the morning star, that more than likely means that you really actually have control over nations, because the morning star helps us to produce food. The morning star helps us to have power to industry. The morning star gives us a whole lot of different things that we're not actually appreciative of very often. But if we step into high level leadership, we start to understand how important that morning star is. And those people who don't live the wicked ways, who don't put impure things inside of them, that tear their vessel down, they're going to be raised up, bro. You might see President Lakeisha. Well, Lakeisha decided to walk the path of purity, and she decided to be consistent with it. Now, Lakeisha, who in 1995, you wouldn't even been able to see her as a congresswoman, she's president of the United States with full power and full immunity signed into law by President Biden. See, when you take melanin, true melanin, and you take the bounds off of it, you take the glass lids off of it, and you let it just grow. Well, I'm sorry for my Caucasian brothers and sisters who might only be able to become a flower in the rough or in the crack of a sidewalk. But the melanated person, even in the sidewalk, can become a forest of roses. This is how dominant and recessive genes work. So once the brothers and sisters of the world, but especially the North America, walk the path of purity, well, I guarantee you, in no more than 3 generations, probably in just 1 generation, they'll rule the entire world. It won't take 100 years. And the Klan will be indicted. I guarantee you that'll be one of the first things on the agenda. Because if I'm President Thomas Bay, one of the first things on the agenda, I'm indicting the Klan. I'm hitting up my homeboy Purple Durag. I said, listen, brother, you in charge of the CIA now, homie. Okay, this is what we doing. Mega,
let me tell you how I'm showing up.
Mega, you in charge of the FBI, homie. This is what we're doing. All right, we're about to create an interagency operation. Go and get the Klan.
Klan. Get they bitch ass now. No problem. Roger that.
Yeah.
2040. Mark my words. 2040, you will see somebody on the stand who's a Klan member, and they'll probably have did something so boneheaded like that that the people in power at that point will be able to prosecute a RICO, and they'll have at least 50 others by 2040, 15 years from now. And I'm saying that because Saturn will be in Libra, and it'll either be exalted. I gotta look. Yeah, actually, it's exalted in Libra, so that means it's got even more power than it when it rules. It rules Aquarius and it rules Capricorn. But Libra is about justice. Saturn is about justice. Then we're in the age of Aquarius, which is ruled by Saturn and Uranus, and Saturn is about justice. So in 2040, we're going to have an alignment of justice in the zodiac.
Another way that it go down too is now that's something I can say I can believe, because like we said, if one of them get caught doing something stupid, they gonna rat. That's the era they in now. They ain't in the era from the old school.
Right.
Whoever's in it now and thinking that they one of them like that, repping out there doing shit, you ain't built like the ones that started it. You get your ass caught up where your life gonna be the only one over, or you tell. Because like, listen, one thing about them, they tell, yo. They're telling their kids, they're telling their family members, they tell, yo, with no problem. They don't live by it. They ain't got no snitch code. Ain't no snitch code for them. They telling. You know what I'm saying?
I think that the Klan and organizations that have been around that long and that ran political towns and shit like that, I think that they have known to manipulate the game to where they kids probably don't even know they fucking part of the Klan. You feel me?
I'm speaking for one that do know, and he out there being active.
I'm just saying, like, I don't want to see no little dirty motherfucker come up there talking about, yeah, I'm him. No, I don't want to hear that. I want the fucking nigga that got a bag. He a billionaire whole time. He been throwing the money in there. I want the nigga that whoever the fucking CEO of the Boys and Girls Club to come out of the side and say, yeah, I'm him.
It would take a low level dude that will rat to get some, because see the ones that got the real bread, similar to Jeffrey Epstein, they not worried about the legal system because they know money control that too.
See how you handle a situation like this is exactly what Mega is saying. You get the little the small guy, he's gonna snitch. He's gonna lead you to who the actual real guy is, and then it gets handled just like New Jack City. We didn't all see New Jack City, right? They had to get to the small people to kind of build up a little bit at a time, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing with what happened with Frank Lucas. And
same thing with Big U.
Yeah, so this
somebody
is
else got caught up in something.
I feel you on that, but I don't think that, like, at the level it is, I think it's a bunch of copycats on the low end. You did what I'm saying? I think that they have graduated to the point that they can automatically just they everywhere. We don't know who they is. They don't even show themselves. They mask is turning into suits. You dig? So I'm just saying the little dirty nigga ain't gonna know the nigga in the suit. But
they do though. They do though, man. See, that's something. See, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna have to tell you, bro. That's where you get it wrong. Yo, you gotta think about it like this, bro. The one that's in the suit got 20 motherfuckers in his family. That's them dirty motherfuckers, yo. Let's be real. They still in tune. They know. And the one that's the little dirty motherfucker, he's so bold because he know the one in the suit is his uncle.
So peep this, right? So both of y'all are you know, I see where both of y'all going, right? And I'm kind of leaning more towards what Mega is saying, but what I want to touch on what Purple Durag just said. Sometimes the one who's on the really bottom level that they get for, you know, they get them on some charges for some bullshit or whatever, just so they could talk to him. So sometimes they don't know the main guy, but what they do is they take whoever that person gives to them. Now we're going after that person. Now we're gonna see if that person knows the main guy. Well, whoever that person says that they know, we're going after that person next. And then they keep going until they get to the main guy.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, bro, like a lot of them families be dirty, son. They might got a couple of clean cut ones, but a lot of them be way more dirty. It'd be way more dirty ones than that's their family.
That's a fact.
It'll be a lot more. I think niggas tell more than the rednecks. Rednecks. I mean,
niggas tell more because we get put in more situations where niggas gotta tell. If you're not even getting arrested, you know what I'm saying, what you telling for?
I think that like
you get arrested and don't get no time.
Dirty motherfuckers have got arrested though.
But like it go back to like how I said about the college dude who raped something. If you do dirt, and even if you get arrested but don't get no time, you ain't got no reason to tell. That we getting hit with the book, nigga, off the gate. So that niggas quick to give some shit up to try and say they own ass.
But see, once the Klan is indicted, the power structure will already be there to put them away. So this will be a situation where the book will get thrown at them by cops in interrogation rooms. And these dudes are going to fold like a piece of paper because they're going to realize that they're about to go to gladiator school and they haven't been prepared for the Coliseum. So that automatically means that they're going to be doing some things that are very compromising, you know, and most of them are going to be so scared of whatever it is that they're going to be told that's going to be done to them. Well, you know, they're going to tell them this in the interrogation room, that they're going to sing like a bird, the bulk of them.
So I remember the black guy that infiltrated the goddamn Klan and became friend with the dude, the Grandmaster, and the Grandmaster left the Klan.
Mm-hmm.
Him and the black guy died happily ever after. What? He should have got them rat then. Shit. You know what I mean?
That's one person. You know, we talking about all these other people who are at lower levels. And let's say that these guys who are part of the organization, they earning $50,000 a year, right? And they're the only one working in their household. Their wife's not working. You know, they got children. So now, if you know they go away, their family situation is messed all the way up. Plus, they're not prepared for prison, so they're scared of that too. The bulk of these dudes is telling, bro.
Yeah, his situation wasn't that he had any pressure on him anyway, so he just left the Klan.
Yeah, I know, but it's just one person. When you think about all these other people, man, the bulk of these people are not thorough mofos walking around out here and they live in that code that we was talking about. They're not doing that. The bulk of these guys just know that they're never going to go to prison, or at least in their mind, that's what they're thinking. They're thinking that nobody's ever going to put a gun in there because of the organization that they're a part of. So they just joined the organization. This is kind of like those guys who joined fraternities in college and they softened in a biscuit, but now they're hard now because they went through the initiation process. Mm-hmm. This is a lot of the guys that we're talking about. Some of them are thorough, right? Let's say that we got an 80-20 thing going on here, right? 80% of them are softer than a marshmallow, and then you got 20% of them that are thorough.
I say a good 5%.
I could go with that.
5% is go hard, and then the 95 are followers. Because when I was in college for the little 2 years I did from ODU to Hampton, you know how it is. You catch a nigga by himself, he don't want none of that smoke. It's all giggles. He cool, but you catch him with his little minions, it's all war. Nah, man. I hate that shit, man.
Yeah, that's one thing I can say. It was fun for me going to HU because I used to disrespect the fraternities all the time. I'm like, nigga, I ain't no fucking Greek, nigga. Fuck out my face. And then another thing, I went to high school out here. I lived here. So you could do whatever you want to do on this campus and see what happened after that.
Boy, oh boy.
Everybody knew that. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't have no issue. I just
What school you went to?
HU.
No, I mean high school.
Oh, Bethel.
What graduating year?
94.
Okay.
But most of my niggas was Norfolk State niggas that were like, I was the nigga, I was cool with no bullshit in my high school years, especially my senior year, junior, senior year. I was cool with the realest niggas in every school. No bullshit.
I would imagine it's a lot easier to come down here
my nigga,
and like kind of conduct yourself in a certain kind of way when you come out of Chicago.
My nigga.
Yeah. It was easier. It was easier to live out here. You know what I'm saying? I can say that off gate.
My nigga was a man in 96. Hold up. Yeah. You talking about nostalgia. A lot of niggas.
He's supposed to be a man in 96. He was a man in 94.
I'm just saying, like, for the era right now,
right?
How niggas want to dress, how they getting back to shit, like. It's mega them that I wanted to, you know what I mean? My little 85 baby coming in. I'm looking at the 96 niggas, them my big brothers and shit. I want to be like them now. My kids want to be like them. It's like a full circle, like that 90s nostalgia. Everybody's part of that. The 2000s want to be the 90s so bad because they 2000. They don't even know what it is to be a 1900 baby. And then you was grown at the last part of the years. That's crazy. I was in high school. I wasn't even in high school yet. I was in middle school in 96. I thought I was you. You know what I'm saying? That was the best time. Freak Neat, Bike Week.
That's crazy, dude, that you said it because I went to the last official Freaknik in 96.
Yeah, me too. I was there. Young boy, t-shirt game, little nigga with t-shirts on me. Yeah,
that's the year that Iverson was drafted. That draft was crazy too.
Yeah.
Listen, he was a man when that happened. He went and celebrated.
I mean, shit, yeah. I mean,
I had to go to bed.
That's crazy, yeah. But I always said, man, like, I don't care what nobody said. I know people was born in different times. Oh, what's up, Mason? Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. I remember, man, like I used to look at things like the guy, I call it the guy years, man. Listen. That's kids that was born in the 70s, bro. We different, yo. We different, son, and we shaped a lot of things, yo. We shaped a lot of things, yo. Like, and I even say this, and this don't apply to everybody because nothing is absolute. But I feel us born in the 70s, we had the last real parenting. Yeah, we had the best toys, and we had the best cartoon.
Crack babies.
yeah, that came after us. That was the 80s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm an 80s baby.
Yeah, so because it's like I said, bro, just think about it. Now I know they do a lot of movies and shit based on who's an adult now, but like Transformers, that's our era. G.I. Joe. I mean, like you can literally say the best toys, yo. Like there's never been nothing. The only thing this new era got over the older era is the video games. The way they look. Like, we had to go to the arcade for the good graphics. You ain't have good graphics at home. Like the Xbox and PlayStation put
shout out to the
game rooms
90s and the 2000s when we used to go to the motherfucking mall, to the arcade, get you about $10 a quarter. I'm in that bitch 2-3 hours, boy. Shout out to Killer Instinct, man. That was my game back in the day, boy. Fuck is you talking about? What y'all niggas know about Killer Instinct? Why you
see now? Look, but that's crazy. See, when you talk about going to the arcades and play Killer Instinct, and I do remember Killer Instinct in the arcade, but you got to think too. When Killer Instinct came out at home, it looked just like the arcade. Like I'm telling you, that's what killed the arcade. When you can have it, I don't need no quarters. It looked the same way.
That's crazy.
Look, that was like my era was like really the end of that era of that mall. Going to the mall, chilling.
Right, yeah.
Like you can go to the mall, you see kids in there now, but like our mall stayed open.
It was definitely different. It was definitely different.
Then the movie theater was right there. That bitch ain't closed to 11.
That was your era because like that's when I was like after I had graduated.
Capcom, Tekken.
Yeah,
all these janks,
man.
Yeah.
But for everybody who's listening, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Really appreciate y'all. We done went in tonight on Indict The Klan. It's late for breakfast. Episode 14. I'm the guy with the books. We got Purple Durag and Think Mega on the line. Listen, y'all be safe, be in peace, walk the path of purity, and I'm out.
Salute, bro.
What you got to say, Mega?
Man, if somebody ever treating you like Big U treat people, yo, do like Smokey did in Friday. If you ain't got it on you, you can be quiet right now.
When he leave, you can be talking again.
Listen, man.
Don't
let nobody oppress you, my nigga.
A lot of them guys was just raised in that, and they think that's what it is until they get a little older and they get to knowing people that's in Atlanta. They get to meeting niggas like Little Baby. They got a bunch of niggas around them. He feeding everybody. They go to the hood. They happy. They done built the hood up a little bit. They probably done bought the apartments. Then they go back to California and they like, damn, the government own this shit. Cuz don't even live out here for real in the hood no more. But he out here every day.
Mm-hmm.
His son ain't go to school with us. So don't get treated. If you feel that feeling in your heart when a nigga talking to you like you uneasy or you want to do something or you afraid, just get away. I mean, it's hard to get away when you don't know where to go. But if you go somewhere and you really put your mind to it, because I'm not from Virginia, I don't have a lick of family up here, and I make do. You know what I'm saying? And I have been to the point when I had nothing in Virginia. But you can make your way if you want to. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I made this shit happen by myself. I do got an old lady that holds the nigga down. But like we always say, man, you got to put your focus on to something that means something. You got to hit that tunnel vision and you got to push forward. And then once you pushing forward, you meet like-minded people that's interested in doing shit with you that can make a difference in your life. You know what I mean? Like we doing right now. We don't have to see each other. We don't see each other all the time, but we can come, we can have a discussion and bring y'all something that we thinking about. And they do need to indict the goddamn Klan, whoever the Klan is. You know what I'm saying? But look, if you fucking around, I bet. Yeah, man, my bad. I did. You know how I do. Go ahead, Megan. Let me go ahead and take the flow, then I'll shut us out, man.
You know, like the guy with the books be pointing out, it's a lot going on in the world, you know, and a lot of things coming. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can't pay attention to everything else that's going on when you ain't got a full focus and understanding of what's in front of you. So, you know, worry about the things you can control. You know what I'm saying? If you meant to be here and you want to, you know what I'm saying, God's people, as I like to say, you know, why worry about a devil? You know what I'm saying? When you know you on the side of God, bro, I can listen to the devil stories, you know what I'm saying? Like, but just don't touch me, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause it ain't me or the guns you gotta worry about.
Right.
I've been protected before I was ever armed. You know what I'm saying? So pay attention to what's in front of you, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I'm gonna leave it at. Like I say, with a lot going on, and when I say pay attention to what's in front of you, I mean really seriously. You gotta, you know, with care, just like how the guy with the books was talking about purity. You know what I'm saying? The things that's right in front of you, the things in your household, you need to be pure with those people, you know? And like I said, the rest of this shit, it's gonna be how it's gonna be for real. Cause you know, one thing about me, man, like I've never been scared of what's beyond here.
Right.
Personally, I never felt like this was my home. I know I'm out here for a reason, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you really want to get into the history, I could do some things to show you that could point to the fact that I'm one of those they call a volunteer soul. A volunteer soul is somebody that we ain't even from here, bro. We from where it's all good at. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? But we knew this realm, this area is filled with so much darkness that we volunteered to bring our light here to try and make people see the light. And you know, the thing about the light is the light is there. You just ain't looking for it,
Right.
or looking at it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said in one of my bars, the light, if you ever feel lost, it may guide you home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm saying?
And you late for breakfast. I'm Purple Durag. Shout out to my boy, Guy Wit Da Books. Thank Mega. Pleasure as always to everybody that comment, and subscribe. You already know Late for Breakfast. Everybody up here got their own platform. Follow Instagram everywhere. Shout out to Root Tribes. Shout out to CBTCO. Shout out to plantbased.com. Shout out to purpledurag.com coming soon. And you late for breakfast. You late for breakfast.